Hello? Okay. Finally, now we're back. God, that was so weird. I'll have to check that before I go live next time. Finally, now we're back. God, that was so weird. I'll have to check that before I go live next time. Finally, now we're back. Okay, so another couple things I noticed from watching my stream is I tend to kind of keep my mouth open. And it's not a very attractive look. So I gotta stop doing that. Perhaps my posture could be improved as well. I feel like this is probably the better posture to be having. All right. So what's the first step again? Let me check my notes. Okay, we definitely want to figure out animations. I do think I kind of got this done, but yeah, I want to set limits on it. So let's take a look at the camera code that we wrote last time. I wonder why there's some changes here. Somehow some sort of font changes have been included, but they don't seem that important. So if we look at this thing, oh, I also got to stop biting my nails. That's a huge one. It's super gross on camera. I mean, unless I'm trying to go for that audience. Maybe some of you guys will pay me to bite my nails. You never know. But I don't think that's something I'm trying to get into. But you never know. All right, moving forward. So yeah, this code is pretty clean. So looks like for some reason in the start function we're recording the pitch and yaw. I don't know what we do with that, but I want to remind myself what pitch and yaw are. So pitch is nodding your head. Yaw is shaking your head. Okay. There I go, biting my nail again. All right. So yeah, I just want to put some limits on the movement and the rotation. So I could see like the position, right? I think at the position we could do like a math min or math max. Yeah, kind of at all the assignments of position we could do that. I'm confused about this because doesn't the the position moves here. So it's the same position that we're looking at. Yeah, I think basically the position should never be outside of the board. So that's one thing. Yeah, we could say that. So let's look at 11 and 28. Okay, so it looks like we want to limit the freedom of the camera. So we got to think about the three functions, right? In handle zoom, don't allow the camera to go through the board. Don't allow the position to go below a certain Y value. In handle movement, don't allow the camera to focus past the halfway mark of the board. In handle rotation, don't allow the camera to go beneath the game board. Set a pitch value, or and don't allow the camera to face opposite the game board. All right, let's try this. I think if we just tell the AI to do this, we should be good. Curious about why it's saying the board width and height are 72 and 60, because that's not correct. Okay, so it looks like it's just going to check the Y value against the minimum height, which we've now configured to be 5. Seems reasonable. Similarly, oh no, it's nothing similar. Okay, so now in the, which function is this? This is, so that was the scroll wheel thing. Let's take a look. So that was handle zoom, and this is handle movement, obviously. So it's gonna calculate our new position using the same formula. And then this is which handle movement. So it's actually, it's not that I want the camera to stay within half. Or maybe it, it's that I don't want the focal point to go beyond. But then if I'm playing the game, and let's say I want to look closely at what my enemy has, I probably want to be able to look that far. You know, just zoom in on their side of the board too. So I think I should change this instruction, really. Instead, allow the camera to focus on any point of the board, but don't allow the focal point to be outside of the board. It's not the camera position that needs to stay in the board, but rather the focal point of the camera. I'm giving it conflicting instructions, which could cause it to do the wrong thing. So the distance to look point, maybe this works. I wonder what math F clamp does, but let's actually look that up. Yeah, this seems good. Cool, so we got that. And we got handle rotation. What did I put as the restriction on rotation? Don't allow it to go beneath the game board and don't allow it to face opposite the game board. I don't know what that really means, but okay, it already has logic to do pitch restriction. I wonder what the yaw restriction is going to be, but this all makes sense. We're just using mathf clamp everywhere. Pretty cool. Wonder what the min yaw, max yaw are. Okay, minus 80 and 80. Let's see what that looks like. Alright, so cool. We can't go past that. We're stuck at the corner. This is awesome. Yep, we are stuck looking at this game board for the rest of our lives. And yeah, you can't go closer than that. Dude, this thing is just working. You can't go lower than that. And then this. Okay, now it's the yaw checking, right? Okay, you can't go past that. The zoom filtering is wrong, I think. So the zoom filtering is based on the height, but it should be based on the distance. don't actually know if this is a good idea. Alright, it seems pretty easy. I think I want to add mobile controls next. Dude, this is awesome. We're never going through. Cool. This is great. Cool. Instead of just returning on line 52, let's just force it to the min distance point. Great. That's awesome. All right. I want to add mobile controls now, but let me commit this because I'm pretty happy with the camera controls now. Cool. Yeah, I think it's good. So add a git. Commit and push the changes. When was the last time I committed? Okay. The only day I missed was Thanksgiving. I did miss Sunday, I think it was. That's not great. But what do a little green dots on the screen really mean? We're making progress. I mean, we love the green dots though, don't get me wrong. Great. Next, add mobile controls for the free camera controller. I wonder how we want to do the mobile controls. I do see like a lot of games implement that little joystick. So like when you touch in a certain area, it creates a joystick. And that allows for movement. Could go that route. And then for rotation, you could just use one finger outside of the joystick. And then we could do pinch to zoom. That's good, but the issue there is if you touch on the joystick zone, What if we... It's just the rotation thing conflicting with the movement thing that really bothers me. I don't want a 2-finger rotate. We definitely need a joystick. So we need a joystick zone. Zone in the bottom right area of the screen to appear and be usable when the user drags a single finger in that area. Many other games implement this. For the handle movement behavior, for handle rotation, we want a single finger to be able to rotate the camera just like handle movement, but it should just be usable anywhere outside of the joystick zone. Lastly, we should implement pinch to zoom. What does it say? Great. First, okay, I'll add mobile controls. Let's create a to-do list. First, let me create a virtual joystick UI component. Interesting. Pretty sure I'm gonna need to do something in the UI to create the joystick. I wonder why it's doing this. Leave handle. We only want the virtual joystick on mobile. So add a handle mobile movement function. I think that's what we should call it. Okay, the good news here is I could read this code or I could just not, and it shouldn't affect the desktop experience at all. What does it say for handle rotation? Okay, it's doing something there. That's fine. The problem is this virtual joystick doesn't exist. I don't understand why it doesn't, but that's okay. Okay. Create a canvas with UI elements. Let's see, is it gonna let me play? Okay. Okay. Oh, there's still that logging when you click, which is super cool. This thing is coming together. Okay, so let's move the mobile stuff down to the mobile section, right? Mobile controls. Desktop controls. We call them keyboard controls, I guess. Call them like, yeah, whatever, just call them mobile, that's fine. So we got that. Now we can understand that this virtual joystick thing is here. Okay, it was able to find the code, which is good. So I think we just have to implement what it says here. So to set this up in Unity, create a canvas with UI elements for the joystick. So let's go ahead and do that, which we already have a canvas with a UI element thing. So we just need to add to it. Now that's over here in the main canvas. So there's the orientation panel, which features a button currently, right? So let's go ahead and give detailed breakdown of steps for point 1. Currently, I have a main canvas that implements a button. I can add to the canvas to include a joystick. Main canvas. I don't want to rename the panel. Currently, it looks like this. So let's take this. So we take that and then okay, why don't we just do what it says? So let's fuck that one up. Okay. Let's see. What am I trying to do? Oh shit, did I lose it? Give detailed instructions for attaching the newly written joystick controller virtual joystick to an in-game UI element. Probably updating the main canvas to look like this. Instead of renaming the panel, I have a panel that contains a button. Should I just put the joystick background inside of this panel at the same level as the button? Okay, so we're going to do that. What type is the joystick background? What type of game element is the joystick background and joystick handle? Can I skip the sprites to just make it invisible to start with? Yes, you can do that. Just create them as UI image. Okay. So we're gonna go over here. We have the panel. And then you go to your button and we create a joystick background. I think it's UI image, right? That's what it says. We're gonna call it joystick background, and we're gonna rename this to spell background correctly, and then we could add a handle, I suppose. So there's the panel and then the joystick background, which is an image. Select it and attach that. How do we attach it? And click add component and do virtual joystick. Okay. And then we need to set the space for the background, right? We should probably put an image on it. Yeah, let's get an image for our joystick background. Touch joystick. Screen image. Let's just take this. This is fine. Joystick. Let's take that. Probably not going to look great, but we'll take it. And then go here. And in this, we can give it this, I guess. How do I do that? Can I put it over here? Why don't we put it in board game? Joystick background, and we say that this is the image. Okay, so I don't know why I can't put this image in here. Let's see, if I try to play it now, what happens? Okay, it has no effect on desktop, which is good. The button is notably broken. I don't understand why. Okay, so let's just try to put a different thing. We'll just do this. We'll put the knob actually as the image, right? The knob is actually probably perfect, and then let's see. Okay, so I got that. So let's take a look at the joystick code really quickly. What are those variables there? Like, does this thing get set somewhere? No, we need to somehow put values on that. What values do I set on for joystick background and joystick handle on the script? Okay. Alright, so let's change the joystick background actually. Instead of being a knob, it should be a, I guess a background would be clean, right? And then let's actually make the width 200. 150 and the height 120. Yeah, why not 150, 150, right? So we'll do that. And then let's go ahead and create an image called joystick handle, right? And so this image is going to be a knob. And yeah, that seems fine. And let's go ahead and move this thing down like 500 minus 500. And then we're just going to drag this into this. guess we start it. And we can build it for iOS next. So this looks like what I would expect to see. We could add some transparency later. I kind of think it should hide and then appear on touch. But these are all nice to haves, right? So let's go ahead and test it somehow, right? Let's just not touch that. So let's go back here. And we're going to go to File, Build Profiles. And I think somewhere in here, yeah, we're not doing simulator, right? So we're going to do a build. Yeah, we need to replace the build folder, please. Okay, and now that we've done that, we can open it. And we press the button, and then it fails, and we go here, and we do this. I don't know why I have to do this every single time, but it's a thing that I've been doing. So we're going to call it com.jmathler.boardgame. And then we can go ahead and send it to the phone. Very excited to test this on my phone, see if it does anything at all. Oh, I can just click always allow next time. I'm not sure if that's a good idea, but I might click it. Alright, so it's building something made with Unity. Okay, cool. So I can do that. Pinch to zoom is working. The joystick, however, does not work. And does it switch to landscape? I do want to see that. Nice. All right, I will be back later. So far the joystick isn't working, but progress is being had. I'll see you folks later. Goodbye.